Hello and welcome to my channel.
In today's video, I'm going to talk about what are maps and the different types of maps and how to do map projections. You must all have seen a globe. A globe is of the shape of the earth. It resembles the earth. It is also spherical in shape, and almost all the features are represented on a globe. So a globe is the most accurate representation of the earth. A globe with very little distortion shows the shape of the earth, the shape of the continents as well as of the oceans on its surface, as well as shows the different places on the surface of the earth. It mostly shows the three-dimensional aspects of the earth. Yet, even if the globe is so useful and it is a true representation of the earth, it is not very convenient to carry out everywhere and store it. A globe is also very expensive to construct, and only one half of it can be observed at a glance. So, due to all these drawbacks, the use of maps are very popular. A map is also a true representation of the earth, but a portion of the earth is drawn on a scale on a flat surface. So, when we are projecting the surface of the earth on a flat surface, it is called as a map. It looks like a photograph of the earth, but in a photograph we have unimportant details, whereas in a map we do not have unimportant details. We have accurate representation of the earth. It is a visual aid for learning in schools, for colleges, etc., as well as a tool for all the geographers. So it basically gives you all the information which is there on the surface of the earth at a glance, and it is represented in a small piece of paper. It is very convenient to carry and also to preserve. It is as important to a geographer as a telescope to an astronomer or a microscope to a biologist. So, whenever we are using a map, a student should know a few points. The first point is we should know the size of the map representation as compared with that part of the earth which it represents. That means whatever size the map is having, what part of the earth it represents. Whether a map is representing all the continents and the oceans, or it is only representing one particular continent or one particular place. Next, we should know what does the map represent, whether it is representing population or it is representing climatic conditions or any particular region. And the third point is we should know the meaning of the various symbols and signs, as well as can read the scale on a map. So first of all, we need to have in a map a title. A title shows you what is the content of the map. By the title, you can easily describe what the map consists of. Basically, it tells the reader what the map is about. Whether it's United States of America map or India's map or the world map. So whatever is the title of the map. The second part is a map key. Key represents all the symbols with different colors, shapes, sizes, all these structures which are used in a map. All these symbols represent some feature which is there on the map. So you should know which are the symbols and what do they represent. Scale of a map is very important because it shows the distance of the different places on the surface of the earth and how we are representing it on the map. It shows whether the map is a large scale map or a small scale map. I will talk about all these features in detail. In a map, on the corner of the map, you will find the north, south, east, west direction given. The map is always pointing to the north-south direction. North, south, east, west can also be divided into northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, and can be further divided. Let us now talk about the different types of maps. So the first type of map are the topographical maps. Topographical maps are the accurate representation of a particular region. These maps are based upon a small place or a small region. That particular region has been undertaken by surveying. So a lot of information about that region has been surveyed, and then all the natural features as well as man-made features are displayed on this map with the help of signs and symbols. So natural features like rivers, valleys, hills, ponds, etc., as well as man-made features like towns, villages, houses or buildings, roads, railways, canals, bridges, etc. Everything is represented on this map. Contour lines and hachoirs are used to show the different features, to show the density of population, forested regions, then settlements, etc. Such types of maps are used mainly for planning of roads, bridges, irrigation purposes, and drainage works. These maps even serve as guides for travel purposes. They are even used for military purposes. These maps are prepared on a number of sheets which are related to one another, and each one is dealing with the details of any particular region, which are connected with each other as a whole area. Such topographical maps are surveyed and prepared by the Department of Survey of India. The second type of maps are cadastral maps. Cadastral maps are also called as plans. They are based on a particular subject. They are large-scale maps. Large-scale maps means that a small place or a region on the surface is represented on a larger scale on a map, so that the minutest details can be properly seen. So we get the proper details and the full details of the boundaries of the properties and the buildings. Everything is very clear on a cadastral map. Cadastral maps are also called as administrative maps. They are used by local administration for making city surveys, for implementing taxations, for managing estates, for property management, as well as for making legal documents. The third type of maps are atlases, which you must have seen in every school. And it's a collection of maps where we have all the maps around the world which is compiled together. The word atlas derives from a Greek mythological character who is known as Atlas the Titan, and he supports the heavens on his shoulders. An atlas gives you a general impression of any region or any area. They are small scale maps where a larger area is represented in a smaller scale. These small scale maps give us a general impression of any particular area. Even they give you a kind of an impression about the size and shape of land and water features which are represented of an extensive area, but in a very convenient way. So in a small scale map, you can easily see at a glance the distribution of temperature or vegetation or soils, rainfall, communications, population, or maybe physical features of any part of the globe. So if you see the physical map of any continent at a glance, you can see the number of mountains, their shapes, the ranges of mountains and hills, as well as rivers and their sizes. So such maps are very useful for educational purposes. Wall maps are also small scale maps. They are very convenient to carry. They even represent a large area on a piece of paper. Wall maps are basically for displaying purposes and specially used in classroom teaching. They are enlarged maps as compared to atlases. Atlases are in the form of books, but wall maps can be hung on the walls. When we talk about political maps, these are the maps which shows the names of different countries, the states, the districts, as well as the political boundaries. We can easily distribute and identify the different countries, the states, the different places, and it is also indicated with different colors so that you can understand the size and the shape of different regions. The political maps also shows towns, railways, roads, and administrative units. In a physical map, all the physical features are shown, whether the region is an upland region or a lowland region, the mountains, rivers, plains, valleys, and the depth of the sea. All is indicated by different colors. For example, the deep
seas and the oceans are indicated by dark blue color, and the shallow waters are indicated by light blue color. Physical maps are also called as relief maps because they show the relief features and indicated by different colors like green, light brown, dark brown, crimson, red, etc. There are some distribution maps. Distribution maps show you the distribution of particular commodity, maybe crops or population or the literacy rates or any particular kind of attribute. So they are also called as commodity maps because they deal usually with crops and minerals or stocks and population, etc. There are several methods of making distribution maps. The first method is a dot method. Dot method means in order to show crops or maybe population or stocks, we use dots. And the dots can be 1000 or 5000 or 10,000. It depends upon the density. If more the dots of any region, we can easily make out that the region has density. Suppose it's a population map. So if you see more dots in a particular area or a particular region, that means it has got more density of population. If the dots are scattered, that means the population is also scattered. And the dots which are very much away from each other, they are scattered, that means the population is not high in that particular region. It has got scanty population. The denser the population, the more dots that we have in the map. In shading method, the map is shown by different tints of colored layers or maybe by black and white shading. This method does not take account of wasteland or water areas, but they show you a specific attribute like a particular type of crop, suppose cotton, which is grown in a particular region. So it is shaded in a particular color, maybe yellow or orange or red. Millets or any other crop which is grown in a particular region is also shaded. So shading is used to show a particular attribute on a map. Pie diagrams are another way of showing distribution. They are to illustrate in statistics all kinds of distribution like trade or maybe distribution of population or the different regions in which crops are grown. In a pie diagram, a circle is divided into segments according to the quantity of each item. And each segment has got different color which is indicating a particular attribute, or it can also be shaded. And we need to make a key at the corner showing that which color is indicating which attribute. A bar graph is another method to illustrate statistical quantities. It can also be used to simply compare between different quantities. Any bar graph can be used to compare and to find out the different attributes which are happening, maybe distributed over a certain time period or year. So if we have got a bar graph which is showing the population growth, for each year we can show the population growth or the decline in the population. It can also be used to show the census report. So if the bar is growing upwards, that means there's a growth in population. If it is coming down, that means there's a decline in the population. So a lot of care is taken when bar graph is prepared. There should be equal amount of distance between them, as well as the bars should be of equal size. Only the length of it can change according to the quantity increase or decrease.